All right, next one, eating out healthily. This is kind of hard for most people, but I'm gonna show you guys how to make this work. Wow, out healthily. So rule of thumb, most restaurants, meals you have, it's gonna be over 1,000 calories per meal. It's just the way it is for the most part. So I'll give you an example. So there was a restaurant next to my gym a couple years ago, and you used to be able to sit at the bar and you could watch them cook every single meal for you. And they had this squirt bottle of olive oil. And like I said before, 1 tablespoon is 130 calories. And so they're not exactly getting a tablespoon and pouring it in. They're getting the squirt bottle, squirting 4 to 5 tablespoons of oil into every single plate they're doing. That's gonna be for the meat, that's gonna be for the vegetables, that's gonna be for the potatoes, that's for literally everything, right? So you can imagine, and with butter too on top. So you can imagine how many calories it's gonna be. Because a 130 calorie piece of chicken breast, add 3-4 tablespoons of olive oil, that's 500 calories, plus an extra 200 calories of butter, like that 130 calorie chicken, now becomes 800 calories. So you can see how crazy these calories are adding up, right? And so every time you eat out, one rule of thumb you can do, just say, hey, can you cook my food? I want it grilled, no oil, no butter. So me and my fiance, we went to Mastro's and she got a piece of fish and I think veggies, if I remember correctly, that would normally be 1,000 calories, 800 calories. It was like 200 calories. And she ate out at a fine restaurant and it still tastes amazing. So just ask for that, right? Same thing. If you are gonna eat out too, you don't need to finish the plate. You can either ask for half now, half later, or when you start getting full, just ask for a to-go box. And you have a meal the next day, right? But another thing too, so if there are 20 restaurants or more in the US, they have to show nutrition facts. So that's gonna be your Lazy Dogs, your BJ's, your Yard House, that type of stuff, right? And so we always talk about being smart and having a plan. So if you are gonna go to one of these restaurants, what you can do is you can go on the nutrition facts and actually figure out what's the best thing, right? So it's gonna have the calories, the protein, carbs, fat, sugar, sodium, cholesterol, all that stuff. So rule of thumb, if a meal is at least above 35% protein, you're in the green, right? So that is a meal you can get. Just remember, there could be a 20% variance to it. So just keep that in mind. But just ahead of time, just try to get 35% protein or higher and go with that, okay? Next one, if they don't have that, stick to a lean, so we know it's gonna be more calories, right, than normal. So stick to a lean meat. So stick to, we'll put up the kind of our recommendations right here. But so pick something that's gonna be at least about 70% protein. So some sort of lean meat, some sort of lean fish, some sort of chicken, like something like that. When you get veggies, just make sure it's not gonna be sauteed. Like I said before, you could have a 20, 30 calorie asparagus and now it's 300 calories because of oil, right? So when they ask how they prep it and ask if they can make it with, not with oil. Same thing too, if you are gonna get a drink, I know a lot of people, I like getting my drinks when I go out, get a drink that's gonna have a 0 calorie mixer. So for me, same thing too, if there's a vodka or there's a whiskey, like the lighter the alcohol, less calories it's gonna be, okay? So stick to a clear liquid for alcohol ideally, and go with a 0 calorie mixer. So skinny margarita, gin and tonic, or vodka soda, or even martinis. Martinis is straight alcohol. Those are great choices. And a lot of people like to go out with their friends, right? And their friends like to put it down, they're tanks when it comes to drinking. You could ask for more mixer and just sip on it, right? And so like I said, we're not in high school anymore. If your friend's having 5 drinks, you don't have to have 5 drinks with them. Just have 1 or 2 and just have it where instead of having a Moscow meal, have your martini or have your skinny margarita. It's fine, right? You don't have to have 5, 6, 7 drinks every time with them, right? So you follow those plans. That's gonna be the best thing for eating out. Same thing, if you are gonna eat out, just understand it's gonna be more calories than what you're doing if you're at home. So have less calories throughout the day. And so you can have more calories at dinner or when you do go out. Same thing, caffeine. So like coffee is actually an appetite suppressant. So what I do is I up the caffeine intake throughout the day, help me kind of keep my hunger cravings down, and so I can last until I get to dinner. But same thing when you go to dinner, just eat the protein first, try to prioritize that, and have the other stuff for later. And if you can skip dessert, skip dessert.